Joan, we're here at Nurseline. It's right behind us. Tell us a bit about what goes on there.
Yes, so here at our Cancer Nurseline, we have cancer nurses answering the phone to on our 1-800-200-700 number. It's a free phone number, and that's important. We take calls from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and they can literally be about anything. But believe it or not, breast cancer is the number one reason for people to call us. So we get more calls from women concerned about or affected by breast cancer than any other cancer. So what do they want to know about? Really, it is very wide and varied. Sometimes they might be wanting to know about their genetic risk. They might have had a history of breast cancer in their family. Sometimes they might have a sign or symptom, like maybe they felt a lump that morning, and they want to find out a little bit more about that. Or sometimes they've just been diagnosed and they just want
emotional
support. And that is the one, and that's exactly what we do. The most common intervention we make here is give emotional support to the caller.
And the people in their lives too.
Exactly.
Husbands or parents or...
Yeah, we get calls from patients, from obviously themselves, from the partners, from daughters, sons, mothers, aunts, uncles, everybody. And that's really important, because so often they're wanting to support the person who's affected by cancer. And if they don't have all the facts and all the information, and even just some guidance as well, it's tough when trying to talk to families and talking to children. And I mean, everybody needs to rally around, and they want to rally around. But if we can support them, then they're in a good position to support the person affected by cancer.
And help them get going on the journey to fighting it.
Exactly.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the Irish Cancer Society has just launched Cups for Breast Cancer.
Yes, exactly. So that's this is a really busy time for us. We do get a lot of breast cancer calls, as I said, and we'll get them and breast awareness calls across the whole year. But this time, of course, it gets very busy because breast cancer and breast awareness is in the media, and that's really important. I suppose while we focus on breast cancer, our biggest message is around breast awareness.
Yes.
And awareness of the normal signs and symptoms, what's normal for you, and then the signs and symptoms of breast cancer. So we're encouraging women to know what's normal for them, and encouraging them to identify any changes, or to know what they are, to know what the changes might be, if it's like a lump or puckering of the skin, or a deviation in their nipple, or any kind of nipple discharge, anything, or asymmetry of the breasts. So if you know what's normal for you, you're in a better position to know when something has changed, right. And then you can take further action.
And the service that we're talking about, that's right behind us here, is really reliant on donations from the public.
Absolutely, yes. We are the Irish Cancer Society is a charity, and the nurses here and our services are dependent on charitable donations, and that's why it's one of the reasons we obviously want to get the right message out, but we also have the coffee morning events and other fundraising events this September, October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And it's a really easy way for people to help out what is a vital service.
Absolutely. I mean, this year alone, our Nurseline has taken over 6,000 calls.
Wow.
And that's phenomenal, really. But we also have 13 daffodil centres in major general hospitals. They too are part of our information service, a really important part of it. We have a website, we produce booklets that we give free of charge. All of those services are free of charge. When people contact our Nurseline, they can find out what we offer here in the Cancer Society, but also what's available in their location. So you don't have to remember all the services that the Cancer Society offers, but by contacting us, we can direct people to the services,
the easiest one for you,
and maybe back into the hospital, whatever the best pathway to sort out their issue or to get more help. And that's, I think we really have that the ability for people to be able to call us from the comfort of their own home in confidence, and to be able to do it at a time that suits them, when it's quiet or the children are away, or it's a time that they're maybe on their own or not, or with somebody else. That doesn't matter. We can take those calls and we can talk to them and really tease out the problems. And this is a really important support to people, in addition to the support and services they get in the hospital system as well. They are very important, and we work with those services. We know a lot about them, and we direct people back into them as appropriate.
Excellent. Joan, what kind of questions are asked here?
Yeah, so really you can get asked anything. But I suppose what's most common is for women who are starting treatment, and emotional support is really, really important one, and talking to children and talking to families. That's probably the most common thing we do. But women also ask us about hair loss, about what they should do, how they're going to manage that. And it's a terribly distressing effect of their treatment. It is temporary, we know, but I mean, you just can't, it's just the most horrible thing. And
it's a visible sign to everyone else that you're
exactly
unwell.
exactly. And so giving people the direction how to manage your hair when it's falling out, that's really almost the toughest part of it. And then what to do. Some people want to get their head shaved, some people don't. Then where do you go about getting wigs and the wig fitting, and when should you go for a wig fitting? All of these really practical, important points. It's important to go for a wig fitting before you lose your hair.
Okay.
I mean,
I would never have known that.
Who would have known?
Yeah.
But that's the best way. So that's really important. And then that's one question that comes up. And then hair grows back, and then how do you manage it? Do you get it coloured? Do you get
Do you
it,
leave
do
it
you leave it alone? All of those practical things. But we also, have to help ladies and other people who contact us to sort out, how they're going to get back into life, going back into work after treatment, how to manage cancer-related fatigue, how to manage sexuality and intimacy issues.
The things you just don't think of when it hasn't come to your door. There are things you just don't think of.
No, you don't think of those things, and they are really practical, everyday things, and they worry people immensely, and they're lying awake at night worried about these things. So I mean, that's what our nurse line is here for. We're more than happy to take calls from anybody concerned about or affected by. They don't have to be a patient, they can be a family member, a relative, friend, a work colleague. I mean, think of all the time we spend at work, and the relationships
They're another family.
They're another family, so there's a work family, and we're really happy to take calls on our 1-800-200-700 line and our nurses will give them the information so that they can support the person.
If people want to help out, they can support Cups Against Breast Cancer October 11th, and if they want more information on that, they can go to cancer.ie.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joan.